Hi, my name is Heather, and this is my story. Okay, so I was married for 15 years to my husband, and we had 4 children. It wasn't bad at first, probably right before I had my first daughter. That's when things started to get verbally abusive and semi-abusive, where he would throw things at me and yell at me and tell me to figure out what I wanted out of my marriage. It was kind of an on-again, off-again relationship. I would kick him out, he would come back, I would kick him out, he would come back. When I was pregnant with our 4th child, I had found out some information from years before, so I called him at work. And I told him that I was done with our marriage. And he proceeded to leave work and drove home, which was a 30-minute drive, and he walked in the door, and that's when he just started beating me. I was pregnant, so I curled up into a ball to try and protect my unborn child, and my daughter was 3 years old. She was sitting on the floor crying, and all I could do was watch her cry while trying to protect the baby while he beat me. I don't remember how long it lasted. When he was done beating me, he sat on the floor crying, saying, "What have I done?" and smashed his head into a wall. When he finally calmed down long enough, I talked him into taking me to the ER. So as we were driving to the ER, he asked me what I was gonna tell him, and I told him I would say that I fell. After that, I told him I was done with our marriage, and it still didn't work. He sucked me back in again and said this time would be different. He would never do that to me again. He was so sorry. All the typical things they say to you. And I mean, here I was, an at-home mom with 4 kids, so I wanted to make it work. I really did. I didn't want to be a divorced mom of 4 kids. And for a while, it was okay. My kids started joining sports and getting involved more in activities, and I kind of just dove into their lives because it made me happy seeing them happy, so I dove into everything they did. We were happier when he wasn't around, but I mean, at the same time, he was their dad, and they wanted him around. They wanted him to be proud of them. You know, when they were at sports and stuff, they were happy that Dad was there to see them. And so I had this image of this perfect family. One night, I don't know how many years later, we were out celebrating a victory of my son's, and he got mad. I don't remember what happened that made him mad. I took off from him and ran into another business, and they ushered me out a back door. I went and hid in a friend's garage for a while and fell asleep. It was super cold out, I remember. He found me there, and he brought me home. He asked me who I was talking to on the phone, and I was like, nobody. The next thing I know, he grabbed me by the face and smashed my head into a wall. I woke up and he was on top of me, choking me, and then my kids came in the room. And he got off of me and chased my kids down the hall. So then I got up to chase my kids. He grabbed a knife from the kitchen and he started slitting his wrists, and my kids were hiding in the living room. And I just thought, oh my God, I'm next, because there were a lot of times that he would hold a knife to my throat and tell me, if I can't have you, no one can. And I knew this was probably it, that this is where it was gonna end. Finally, my kids ran to the neighbors for help. It felt like forever for the cops to get there, but they came in and pointed their guns at him and told him to get on the floor. And I remember my baby was sleeping right on the chair, right by where he was laying, and I was just like, oh my God, my baby. And I picked her up and I went down the hallway, and they arrested him and took him away. The police had given me Harbor House number, but I didn't really understand what I was supposed to do with it. And so I didn't call it at first. I was scared. If I went there, my story was out. I had to admit all the bad in my life, and I wasn't quite ready for that. So after his arrest and the 5-day no contact, he started coming around again, and it was like one of those, how many times am I gonna take this? How many times until it's my last time? We had gone out again one night to celebrate. We got home. I don't remember a whole lot of what happened. All I do remember is him grabbing my arm, and then I was at the bottom of the stairs. And after that, I remember being upstairs in my bedroom. I have no idea how I got from the bottom of the stairs to my bedroom, which was a bit of a ways. And then I remember being in my bedroom and telling him my hip was out of socket and I needed to call an ambulance. And he wouldn't let me call an ambulance because he said that he would be arrested. He said, just try and walk to the car. So I took a kitchen chair and tried walking down the hallway with a chair like it was a walker. I got as far as the kitchen and I said, I can't do this. I can't make it to the car. And so I got him to agree to let me call the non-emergency number for an ambulance. The ambulance came and got me, and they took me to the hospital, and I was admitted with a fractured pelvic bone in 3 places. The next morning, he brought my kids up to the hospital. He didn't tell them why I was there. He just said, Mom's in the hospital. And I'll never forget the look on my kid's face. That was when I knew that this had to be enough. Like, how many times this was the end. It was hard because financially I didn't know how I was gonna take care of 4 kids, but I knew somehow I had to escape. He would still come around after that, but he didn't live there, he wouldn't sleep there, he wouldn't stay there. He realized that I was distancing myself, and so he just started taking the kids for overnights. And then eventually we were separated to the point where there was no trying, no nothing. He met someone new, and here we are.